Oh, we
But
don't have to have all these feminine traits. We don't need no man. We can save ourselves.
it's literally as simple as letting women run the world. At least get give them like a whole month. I
A whole
guarantee
day.
you, not even a whole day. They're competent to fend for themselves for a whole day, a whole month. I'll give them a month because like these people really think that they're dudes. Like they really think they can do the shit that we do, but they can't even handle the emotional stress or toll of what it means to be a man or a guy in these trying times. They don't understand the concept of it.
That's what's
There's even
frustrating is they're trying so hard to like adopt these masculine traits
they're not programmed.
while also like being like, oh, that's toxic masculinity, blah blah blah. But they so desperately don't want to be seen as feminine either. So it's like, the fuck do you want?
Exactly. Think about it. A prime example of that is like, what was it? I think I read an article about how a girl went undercover, quote unquote, to become what it means like to be a man,
Yeah.
and she only did that for like what? Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but it was like a couple months or probably under a year, and she ended up having what was it, PTSD or thoughts of suicide, or I think she committed suicide. It was a while back, but that just
I
goes to
definitely
show you
remember
that
hearing about the PTSD thing. That sounds familiar.
that's what I'm saying. Like women aren't really programmed to handle the same stress as men. They're not. And
Yep.
anyone that refutes that is, I mean, you can probably like send us a message or something. We can talk about it. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not built like us,
Yep.
and y'all
I
never
mean,
will be.
yep. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, we have our gender roles for a reason, right? We in society, we each got to do what we're good at, so that society can function, so that we can work together and pick up the slack. You know, work to our strengths, pick up the slack that others can't.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
make up for
Now,
each
like,
other's flaws and focus on our strengths.
yeah, you're trying to be this all-encompassing person. You're just as flawed as me, and I'm just as flawed as you. It's just
Mhm.
that, like you said, we got our strengths and weaknesses, but you're trying to convert your weakness into strength, and that weakness is there for a reason. You know,
Mhm.
like there's a reason why you got there's a reason why women are naturally predispositioned to being caregivers and nurturers and that support type role, and men aren't. You're not trying to fuck. You shouldn't try to mess with that. You shouldn't try to fuck that up. Some people, women may see that as a weakness, but it's really not. That's what makes y'all different. That's what makes y'all one of a kind. That's stuff that we want. We want that feminine energy from y'all. That's what we want.
Yep.
We don't need another dude in the picture because you already know how we deal with other dudes, and y'all really can't take that. Like, think about it. If women complain, here's another example. Like, if they were dudes, then it shouldn't be a fucking problem if like if we're having a conversation or a disagreement or if we're upset or whatever. If we decide us biological men decide not to talk to y'all, that shouldn't really get y'all mind in a fuss. You know what I'm saying? Your mind shouldn't be racing with all these emotions that are irrational or logical, and then like burst out crying because it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't read your mind. I'm so emotional. I don't know what I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was a guy and a guy, like if we don't talk to each other, if we're pissed off, then that's what it is.
Yep.
We're not gonna have a bitch fit in our head. You know what I'm saying? Like again, y'all think emotional. Not all, but some, or the majority of them. They do think emotionally. They're not logical about it. You're not cut to think like a man. You can learn, but that doesn't mean that you're meant to be that way. You're just
Yep.
supposed to take what you know and apply it to your situation. Doesn't mean you exploit it, because like they say, that old adage, anything too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yep.
This is what's happening. You're trying to be too much like a man, and you're realizing that it's not worth it. You're going to lose in the long run, and it kind of sucks because again, we want to be with y'all. Like we want to be with women. We want to settle down. We want to either start a family or be in a long lasting relationship with that significant other. But like a puzzle, you, it's like putting a square in a hole in a
Yeah,
small circle. It
square
doesn't
peg in
work.
a round hole.
You have to complement. It has to be the correct parameters for me to be in you and you to, encompass me or vice versa, however you want to spin it. But, it's good. It's
Yeah,
good. Good.
I,
It's good.
I was just very depressed that they in a singular episode ruined Daredevil like so completely and horridly. And they're working on the Daredevil TV show for Disney Plus too, so who knows what horrors we're gonna witness.
Only thing you can do is either watch it or just, complain about it. That's the best thing you can. Those are really two options.
Yeah. I think what hurts the most about this is it's the same actor. So they got the same actor from the Netflix series.
Yeah.
He's kind of acting the same. He's sort of staying within character. I mean, they made him a little goofier, like I said, and they also changed his costume a little bit. His costume is yellow and red this time, which he did have a yellow costume in the comics, but I don't know the way they made this suit look. It doesn't quite work.
Their consistency is going to be their downfall. That's what it is. And I hope that you don't watch it, but you probably will, and I respect that. And I'll just give
I
us
mean,
more
I'm not
content.
I'm not gonna pay for Disney Plus or anything. Like if I watch it, I'm gonna like pirate it and
Well, however you find the means to watch it, I'm just saying that
yeah,
it's still a good outcome because that's just more content for us to talk about.
yeah.
And, you know, uh, we have nothing but time on our hands, really.
Mhm.
Literally. I mean, if we don't say it, someone else is gonna say it. Like that, it's not gonna escape. Like it's not gonna stop. Just like how they feel like they no one's gonna stop them from making outlandish movies or whatever or out of pocket scenes.
Yep.
There's always gonna be people that's gonna be talking about that stuff, but eventually they're gonna get tired of it. I would argue. You're gonna destroy a whole multi-billion-dollar franchise because you want to be um a fake feminist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna work.
And Disney doesn't talk about the numbers, like they don't really talk about how many subscribers they have or how many people are still watching, but like they'll talk about like, 8 billion people watched the first episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever, but they're not talking about how many people are still watching episodes later, and
Because they
and
know.
usually if
Look,
the number is high, companies will talk about it.
yep, absolutely right. It's just as long as people tune into these types of podcasts, hopefully we can just pull the veil from their eyes. They can do the research themselves and they'll see the truth of what it really is.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's fine. You can have the 8 billion views opening on Obi-Wan, but it's a business at the end of the day, you know? So, of course, there's going to be an X number of people that are going to chime in for that. But if you want your business to succeed, you're going to want that type of
You gotta keep that
viewership
steady
on,
viewership. Can't have
on
it going down.
consistent. Think about it. Like, how you think about if Disneyland or World opened up first day, there was like a billion people that went over there, and then all of a sudden it went down to millions, and
Yeah,
then
like
hundreds.
about a third weekend, there's only like 100,000 people going.
Exactly, you'd be bankrupt.
Mhm.
It's the same principle. You put all that effort in to become this big name, but you can't pass that type of work ethic to something like Marvel. Like that doesn't make any sense. You
And the
you
thing
own
is,
it,
like,
you're treated
they
like
they
shit.
had they had that they have access. They have the means to access the talent. Like they could have got back the cast and crew that did the Netflix Daredevil. They could have got back those writers, those producers, and whatnot.
Hmm.
But nope. They're just gonna like Daredevil's first MCU appearance is gonna be written by a bunch of fat feminists in their late 30s who have nothing but terrible things to say about men.
Yep. You're just giving them a chance in a area expertise that they're not qualified to do. Imagine if you apply that to an everyday life, like a person that's in a beauty salon, and you go to her to get your car fixed, type of shit. Like you're not getting your car fixed. You're gonna do more damage than what you previously had before. Like
It would be like, all right, like, all right, we're bringing back Christian Bale. We're gonna do another Dark Knight movie, okay?
mm,
Or we're gonna let Chris Chan write it.
like what are you doing? That doesn't make any. It's a poor business practice. It's a poor business ethic. It's a cash cow. Marvel
Hmm.
is a cash cow. You consistently make millions, if not billions, of dollars with these names, trademark names that you bought the rights for. And you're gonna say, no, fuck the money that I just inherited from having those trademarks. Let me make the cash cow into something that you basically amputating your arm for. You have a full functioning arm, for example, and for some reason you're like, hey, I wonder what it feels like to be amputated, so let me amputate it. Like what?
It's it's like that scene where Joker sets his money on fire and he's like, it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. Except
Send
Disney's message is fucking retarded and nobody likes it.
Not only that, but the message is hurting them and their pockets. It's not just one; it's both. And if we're living in this capitalistic society where it's all about getting the money, I would make sure that it doesn't affect my bank account. I don't care what the fuck is out there that's saying that, oh, you should think this way or that way. At the end of the day, I gotta look out for myself. This is my brand, my company. I'm making all this dang money. I'm not gonna try to change that shit if the formula is what got me to where I am today. Shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter. I'm not gonna fuck up a business that's worth billions of dollars for shit that doesn't make sense logically. Because again, emotions doesn't make you a million. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, everyone would be rolling around in fucking like Gucci, Prada
Yeah,
wear, having like $1 million houses and all this other stuff, all because they
yeah,
feel like they're like I can do this. I feel I can do it. I feel like this. I feel like that. So I really sitting down like, do I actually have the the mental fortitude or the skill set to make that feeling a reality? That's the only time that
yeah.
feeling should take part into it if it's matched with the logic behind it, not just solely one.
Part of the problem is like Hollywood and Disney and, that whole area, California, where
Yeah.
all these productions take place. It's just this giant echo chamber of these weirdo feminists and SJWs who think like, oh no, 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 if we just keep doing things this way, it's good, like and even though there's enough backlash online and they can see other parts of the world and the other parts of the country don't approve of the shit they're putting out, like for whatever reason, they're still convinced like, well, everyone here in California, I'm down with the feminism nonsense and whatever. So we're just gonna keep doing that. Not gonna rock the boat.
Well, fuck the boat. Everyone's drowning at this point,
That's the problem though, is they're drowning and they're all telling each other, no, 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 we're okay, we're not drowning, we're not drowning.
right?
We're good. Smooth
But
sailing.
oh yeah, totally, totally. The water's warm, so there's that. Like you're gonna die. What are you doing? Oh, it don't make sense. They're clowns. That's all they are. A bunch of clowns.
Yep.
You try to fight logic, and no one really wins when you fight logic. Like,
Hmm.
whether it's on a small scale, on a relationship sense, or on a grand scale such as this shit.